Hey, how's it going? You're watching The Third Rail. I'm Sarah. I've got Nick here, Sasha with me as well. Man, it's been a busy week. Later, Jean-Claude Van Damme. And no, he's not starring in another Volvo ad.
It's a pretty good ad though, that Volvo
It's a great ad. It is a great ad.
Nearly made her cry.
It did?
Yeah.
First of all, though, we just can't get enough Santa on this show. I love a bit of Santa. This is a different type of Santa story, though. The Mall of America, which is apparently the largest shopping centre in the US. I found that fascinating. It's in Minnesota.
Yeah.
For the first time in 24 years, they have hired a black Santa, and it has caused controversy, outrage, calls for boycott. Sash, you're a person of colour.
That's right.
What do you reckon?
I think the whiteys can keep him. We don't want him, Santa. Don't want him at all. Yeah, not at all. He's a creepy guy, I reckon. Like, I mean, who has notes on other people's kids, okay, whether they've been good or bad, you know? Is his policy, you know, give a present, get a present?
I happen to agree with you, Sash. I think we should keep Santa. Santa's ours.
There, have him. And you know what? You've got the United
is.
States of America back again, and you can have Santa too.
Well, that suits us fine.
That's right. Well, not really you guys. Sorry.
No, but you know what?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'm going to give some facts, because you boys know how I like facts.
Got a bit
Facts
with
So
about
Santa Claus is based on St. Nicholas, and
Yeah.
apparently St. Nicholas was born in Turkey to Greek parents, so it's highly unlikely that he was fair-skinned and blue-eyed, as we know Santa Claus
Probably look
today.
like me.
Yeah.
Probably look like you.
Do they hire wog Santas?
I don't know about that.
That's right.
I don't know about that. It's a very interesting idea, but I think it should be available to everyone.
Yeah.
You know, I'm all about love. Share the love. Let
Share the
everyone
love.
have a Santa. If
Yeah.
you're a woman, if you're gay, you're lesbian, if you're black, you're white, you're yellow, whatever you are, if you want to dress up as Santa, go ahead and dress up as Santa.
Yeah, but they promoted this as some big thing. And, you know, I can sort of understand how some black kids would feel, you know, they'd struggle to identify. But what I don't understand is I never came home from school asking my parents, why doesn't Santa look like me?
Yeah.
You know,
Did you
okay,
ever-
I said, okay, Santa's white, and there's a reason why he's white. I don't know why he's white, but he is, and I don't care. As long as he gives me presents. I was a child.
It's probably because he was invented by white people. I wonder if there's really anyone that wants to grow up and become Santa.
Not
I
really.
don't know if there are kids out there.
No.
This reminded me a little bit of the you know, Idris Elba, the actor.
Yeah.
I would turn gay for that guy.
You would, like many others.
I almost turned gay already for Idris Elba. There was talk that he might play James Bond, and I think that's totally cool. I'm sure he'd do a great job and everything. But I did start to think, like, James Bond originally is like a racist, misogynist. He's a horrible white guy. You know, he's a cruel white man.
That's right.
And so I start to wonder if there's any point in reinventing him as a black guy in a way.
Well,
you
you
know,
know,
not
the
because I have an issue with it, but just because it's like, well, that is that character.
I know,
you
but the whole problem with it, I mean, even the James Bond thing, Santa, you know, the fact is, Santa's not real. James
true.
Bond isn't real. These are characters. So if other people of other colours want to be Santa or James Bond, what's the problem with that? I mean, I know that we're living in a post-fact world, right? We're currently in a post-fact world, but it seems that white people can't let go of the untruth
Anything.
that is Santa.
You've got everything
being white.
else. Let us have something.
know,
Let the people of colour have something else.
Just let it go.
Okay, but on the post-fact thing, was this a case of the trolls kind of like taking over again? I mean, you had the...
Hold on one second. Can we just have a look at that Santa in the back
what
there?
is that?
What is that? Is that a black face? Is that a
No, it's not. It's actually an eBay figurine you can buy from eBay.
Oh, that's
apparently.
no,
the
but is
one
that-
No,
what
no,
about
on
that
the
one?
left.
I'm
No,
talking
no,
about
no.
that guy.
He's a genuine black Santa.
He's a black
genuine
Santa. It looks like he's got black texture all over his
No,
face.
no, no. It just might be the image, but
Sorry
he's a
to
genuine
interrupt
black
you, Nick.
Santa.
Well, you know, I was saying the Star Tribune ran the story about Black Santa. Had to pull their website down because all these people came along, said nasty things like, "Oh, you know, what does he do?
Yeah.
Come down your chimney and steal all your Christmas presents,
Yeah.
or you know, all this kind of stuff." How deep and widespread is the outrage really? Is it another kind of online blow up? Does anyone really care? As you say,
It's an American blow up.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just an American online blow up.
But regardless of that, I think the way that this is being presented, it's it's a symbol of where America's at the moment. You know, this whole race issue keeps on coming up. Like, we live in a multicultural society. Like, I grew up with all sorts of, you know, creeds and, you know, all types of people. But, you know, that question of whether Santa Claus was black or not, I never cared if he was, you know, purple, green, whatever. It makes no difference. But the thing is, I think people need to explain to their children why certain things are certain ways. And I think they sort of, they dumb down the children with the information they give them. They want to preserve the innocence. But I think at the same time, you know, it's you're pulling your kid back in a way because they're not going to figure it out until later on.
No, what are they supposed to figure out from Santa? Santa's not meant to be an introduction to race relations.
No, well, really,
Why couldn't it be?
He is white.
Because
you just heard the guy's Turkish, okay? He looks like me, all right? He is white. He's
born in Turkey, but
he's white as snow, man, okay? Pink skin and all that. Now, there's a reason why.
Because it makes sense. He lives in the snow. Of course he's got white skin.
That's true.
Why would you be black in the snow? Doesn't make sense.
No. He didn't go there white and turn black and got a tan, all right? You go there black, you stay black, and you come back, all right? That's it.
Okay, this is exactly why these sorts of debates shouldn't happen. If you want to have a black Santa, have a black Santa.
Yeah.
Well, I actually applaud the capitalists at the Mall of America for bringing in the black Santa because they don't see colour.
They don't. They see the green colour.
They see green, mate. And that's it. They don't see any other colour. And that's, you know, for once, I think that's actually
But then
a good
again,
thing.
I'll throw this spanner in before we leave it. The market's becoming more diverse, right? Then wouldn't the people who are trying to sell to that diverse market try and add a bit of diversity into there? And they have. But it just shows that, like I said, the level of racism and sort of like, I don't know, hatred in America. It's just boiling under the surface there, you know? And
It's barely under the surface.
yeah,
really.
it's really, it isn't, you're right, with the amount of shootings with young African-American men and all that.
I know, it's just very disturbing. Luckily, we don't have that sort of problem in Australia, and
Yeah,
I'm sure that, you know, whatever colour you are in Australia, you can be a Santa.
That's right.
On to something a little bit more domestic, and we're going to talk about Medicare, as you can see behind us. So Mark Rogers, who's now known as Grandpa Mark, is a retired computer programmer who set up a website called savemedicare.org, and recently he was served with a letter of demand from the Australian government insisting that he take down his website because they say he's breached copyright in the Medicare logo and has engaged in misleading or deceptive conduct. Nick, I see this as a shutdown of free speech. What do you reckon?
Are we allowed to use that
That's
graphic?
right.
That's a
what I
very
was
good
gonna say.
question.
That's right.
We may
Probably
well
not.
get a letter of demand.
That's
Well,
right.
you know what? I would doubt that. I don't know, maybe it does have the word Medicare on it. I suppose the government invented the word Medicare. I did do a little research. This story interests me. I went straight to government website, which tells you how to use Australia's colours, gives you a little background on the history of green and gold. Yeah. It says when you use them, you should butt them together. Don't interfere with the, the contrast between the two colours. And it even gives you the colour codes that are the proper Australian green and gold, right? And it says, go forth and use your Australian colours with our blessing. I think the government is having a bit of a laugh here and probably drawing more attention to itself than it needs to.
Yeah.
Definitely drawing more attention to his website than it ever got before.
Totally.
By
In case,
now.
actually, let's just remind our audience, in case you didn't get that, it's www.savemedicare.org. We'll show you right now a screenshot of the website. Sash, what do you reckon about this? I mean, we were talking about this off air. You thought maybe this is a sign of an agenda.
Oh, it could be an agenda, but I think at the same time, the guy put up the website in December 2014.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't actually catch on to this until now, until it's useful to them.
Yeah.
You know, and it just shows that they're scared. Nick, you're right. You know, I believe that.
No, I wasn't doing it. I was thinking of something else. I wasn't rolling my eyes at you. I apologise.
He's shocked that you agree with him.
I was giving you a rap, man. Okay? I was saying you were right. He just goes, oh God damn, you look like my wife. God. I've seen that face before. But yeah, I think they're using it for political points. But what I found interesting was the way that the government has gone in and they've used the whole website issue as well. They're trying to get them on the domain name. They've gone all out on this.
Yeah.
They're not leaving any stone unturned.
No.
And it does reek of fear.
Well, they don't like what he's saying. If it was Medicare's great, let's like rip the guts out of it. I'm sure there would be no problem. But I'll tell you what, they're a bunch of hypocrites when it comes to this. You might remember a couple of years ago, me and Sash came across a story where we noticed that the national anthem and indeed the green and gold was being used in PAB campaign selling gambling, right? And now the copyright to all that stuff can be used by anyone. There are various rules, but for commercial use, I think in that case the Prime Minister's office had to sign off, or some high body within government has to sign off and approve its use. So it's like this guy is a taxpayer who's got legitimate concerns about a great health care system that the government really kind of does want to rip the guts out of, right? Like, matter of opinion, but also seems to be true. And yet, with the other hand, they're saying, by all means, TAB, go ahead and use the national song to spruik gambling.
They've got to sue all the other MPs who use the Medicare logo throughout their campaigns.
That has been raised in the discussion, because there was apparently a letter of demand also sent to the Labor Party, because they also used the colours in their campaign material. But what I thought was interesting is, you have this clear assault on free speech, because that's what this man is doing. He's putting out his opinion.
What's he meant to refer to it as?
I don't know.
How's he meant to get his message across? It's Medicare.
But, I want to know, this is what I want to know. Where is Andrew Bolt? Where is Senator James Paterson? Where is Senator David Leyonhjelm? Where is Senator Pauline Hanson? Where is Senator Malcolm Roberts? These are the people who are spearheading a free speech campaign in this country. They are gunning for Section 18C of the Racial Discrimination Act, and you don't hear anything from them on a clear assault on free speach. So that's the question I want to put out there.
Censorship. Copyright used for censorship.
That's what's happening. So, I must say, that's the question that I want to ask. Where are these, so-called free speech?
Can I answer? Yeah. I think Pauline Hanson's fighting with Rod Culleton. I think David Leyonhjelm may still be in a pub in Brisbane. And
yes, that's right. There's a story about that.
With the other ones, but that's my theory.
Yeah, maybe. Well, anyway, I just think if you're going to fight for free speech, you should fight for it everywhere. Another thing that it did remind me of is, of course, about the gags on whistleblowers in the asylum seeker context. So you know that if you're a teacher or a welfare worker in Nauru or Manus Island, then you can be jailed for actually speaking to the press or speaking up about conditions in detention. So, to me, it
seems we a democracy?
Well,
are we a democracy?
It's a very selective
and
way
that the rules are applied.
New South Wales.
It's like we pitch ourselves as this great free nation, but when it boils down to it, regardless of what party they come from or what colour, creed, whatever it may be, they're always going to try and preserve their own power and twist the rules to try and do that. Look at Mike Baird. This is off the topic. Mike Baird has changed the rules regarding the ICAC and the makeup of it. Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Yeah,
and you know what? I think you make a great point just by saying, these people are there whenever something that hurts somebody else is happening. They advocate their right to say hurtful things about other people. Fine. But like you say, fight the battle everywhere. This guy's trying to say something else.
Exactly, I agree.
Not in the remit.
I'm totally with you. And I've got to say, we'll wrap up on this, but I just wanted to tell our audience members that if you are as enraged about this as we are, you can go to Get Up and sign their petition to give support to Mark Rogers. Okay, so according to the latest International Maths and Science test results, apparently Australian kids in Year 4 Maths and Year 8 Maths and Science have fallen down the international ladder in terms of their results. And what do we hear from the mainstream media? Well, we heard outrage because the country that is beating Australia is Kazakhstan. So we'll show you a few screen grabs of some headlines. A couple of the headlines are like, wake up call, beaten by Borat. What's going on here? Guys,
beaten by Borat.
The
country didn't have anything to do with that movie.
Exactly.
And Birmingham's come out and said, well, they've got great artistic skills, but,
What's with this obsession with imaginary people inflaming everything all the time? Borat doesn't exist.
I know.
We've dedicated a large portion of our talk tonight to people that don't
fake
exist.
people that are just driving the world insane.
But it's not only that. It's so condescending and patronising. And the way in which the mainstream media reported this, to me, really highlights the problem with the way in which some sections of the media work and the way in which some sections of society
that story was born in a newsroom. It was born in a newsroom because England, the US were ahead of us. They could have easily put that in there, but that's not really news grabbing, is it? It doesn't capture the eye, does it? They put Kazakhstan in there and they make Kazakhstan feel like a country village, honestly.
Exactly.
They're embarrassing a country to embarrass us. So really, why would they go ahead and do that?
I don't know. And what do you say to your kid when he comes home, he's got a bad report card? You say, you know what, you're dumber than some little pauper in Kazakhstan.
I mean, it's outrageous. It's just
doesn't-
outrageous.
It's not positive in any way.
No,
is
it's
it?
not. But it's just
terrible.
continued racial stereotyping, really.
But-
And I mean,
but
it's sort
hang on,
of.
what is the racial stereotype though, that they're smart?
Well, no,
No,
because
we're
the
just dumber than
clear,
them.
well, the clear insinuation is that we should be smarter than
That's
them
right,
because
yes.
we are superior to
That's
them.
right, and that's
So
why they
there
didn't
was
put
that.
England or the US in the headline at all.
Exactly, because that
we
wouldn't
didn't
make
like
that wouldn't
That's
make
right.
news. That wouldn't
Yeah,
make
we
news.
can understand being dumber than them, but we can't understand being dumber than the Kazakhs.
No,
That's what
right.
they're saying.
That's what they're
Basically,
saying.
but let me say this: I've got a few facts on this, right? According to GDP, we generate a lot more money as an economy, like $1.34 trillion, right? In comparison to the Kazakhs, which is 184 billion, okay? They've got like 17 million population, we've got 23. On that level, okay, if we're thinking about it broadly, yes, we should be performing better because with
We're
the money
richer.
that we're richer,
Yeah.
we should be investing that money back into the education system. And you know what Birmingham says? No, I don't think it's an issue that we should be throwing money at.
Yeah,
Are
of
you
course.
kidding me?
Of course he's going to say that
Are you
because he's
kidding?
ripping out money.
That's
Isn't he?
crazy.
He's
Of course,
anti-Gonski.
what else are you going to spend your money on?
That's the thing. That's the thing with this. They're obsessed with their surpluses and all this bullshit. Spend it.
Spend
it's
it.
not actually there to just sit around.
No.
What's it doing? Accruing interest so we can buy like another country as our weekender. Probably
That's right.
Bali.
Another Nauru
if
or
we ever
something
do
like that. So we need to shovel off people.
That's
over
it.
there.
I don't
That's
understand.
it.
The whole point of this system is to pump that cash back into education and health. But
That's right.
you're trying to shut down like a dude that's advocating for Medicare.
That's right.
And at the same time, you know,
You're saying, oh yeah, we don't know why. We don't know why our kids aren't performing so well.
Well, you know, it's meant to improve your standard of living, and education has a lot to do with that. Speaking of stereotypes, guys, I actually came across something that made me think that this whole education process is teaching stereotypes to younger children, and the whole prejudice thing ends up growing from there, I reckon. It was Wiggles the other week. I was watching it with my daughter because she was crying too much. I had to put that on. She loves it.
Fantastic.
But regardless of that, it's a song called Papa Dum. It goes Papa Dum, Papa Dum, Papa 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 Dum. And here it is. So there you go.
Wow.
Wow, there you go. Some
Wow.
Indian woman who looked extremely uncomfortable
She
there.
looked uncomfortable to me. I thought she
Totally.
was, she was trying to be all smiley, but she didn't look
She was
quite
doing the head
comfortable.
wobble.
But
What's
that's
wrong?
the problem.
Yeah.
'Cause
See,
the
they told
little
her to
kids-
do that.
Yeah,
The
they
little
told her
kids
to
see
do it.
Of
that.
course they did. Yes, we did.
She's
and we'll
playing
tell
in
her to do
Indian.
something
What do
else.
you expect her to do?
Oh my God! Are
She's
you
not playing
serious?
an Indian, man.
Well, she's an Indian.
She's
but
an
she's
Indian.
playing an
No,
Indian.
no,
Oh,
she's not playing an
no,
Indian.
you can't. This is exactly the problem because these little kids see that and then they think that that's how every Indian
Yeah,
person
so when they
is
go
like.
see, when they see an Indian kid playing in the cricket nets like those people were, oh, there's a Papa Dum, Dad. Look at the Papa Dum. No.
I mean,
That's-
well, look,
no,
I
that's
mean,
not so good.
I've
That's not
got to
so
say,
good.
I sort of
It could
thought,
happen.
Well, it could, and I sort of thought, in a way, I like the Wiggles, and I was sort of thinking, am I getting too sensitive about these sort of things? Like maybe they're just trying to educate.
Educate
young
about
people
what? Oh, Indian
about
people
different
like
cultures.
Papa Dums and they play cricket. Oh, okay.
Anyway.
If you live in this world, you'll end up realising that.
Well, they do eat papadums.
That's right.
You know.
So,
So,
Look,
well,
I
is
don't
that
know.
the only defining feature of
Exactly. That's the
No,
point.
that's
people?
true.
That's the
But then
point.
it's for what? How old's your daughter?
She's one.
She's one.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Go into like British India and
Yes.
Gandhi and
Why
Yes.
not? Why
Well,
not?
no.
That'd be great. They should do a session on Gandhi.
know,
The
and
Wiggles
the
should do a session on
non-violent
Gandhi.
protest.
the
That'd be
great
great.
lead into that is going to be, remember the Papadum song? Used to love it. We'd sing it together.
Oh, no.
There's a little more to the story.
don't
Look,
think
I
so.
think,
more to
I
the
think the
story.
whole thing about this is it's really a cycle. You get fed this sort of these racial stereotypes when you're a kid. You don't really get as you grow up in your suburban home and you're going to school and you're hanging around with the same sort of people. You don't get exposed to other types of people. You get older. You end up becoming a journalist and you write stories like
That's right.
beaten by Borat.
Yeah.
Like that's what happens,
You
and
have
that's
a job
cycle.
to validate your own racism, and that's what we're all looking for.
I tell you, it's just a bit of a concern.
That's
The whole
true,
thing makes you really think seriously about where our education system is going. Now let's talk about something that's a very, very feel-good story. Jean-Claude Van Damme. God, I love this guy. I have very, very fond memories of watching a number of his movies.
Fond memories or fantasies?
Fond memories. Fond memories. He is a real athlete, I tell you. I mean, I remember watching that movie Bloodsport. We had a chat about this earlier. We might hopefully be able to show you a little clip of Bloodsport. like this anymore?
No,
Why?
they don't. Because,
Why don't they make movies like this anymore?
They have better producers these days.
Anyway, I just think cinema has gone downhill since Bloodsport. That's all I can say.
You know what? I'd say the level of acting has risen, but that's about it.
Anyway, I'm going off topic. Jean-Claude Van Damme, oh, what a great celebrity. He has been in Australia for the last couple of weeks. He's been in Broken Hill,
That's right.
touting for support and looking for land so he can build a wildlife conservation park.
He's actually looking for 2 stumps so he can do the splits, you know, because of his big legs.
He does the splits amazingly. Can I just say, he's amazing. I mean, that Volvo ad,
I know.
man, it's still blowing my mind.
He would have gone well against that kangaroo the guy punched.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah,
That was
I saw
fantastic.
It was amazing.
Yeah, that went completely off
he
topic.
Would
but yeah.
have dropped that roo with
Totally.
one.
Anyway, I just wanted to sort of end on a very high note, which is talking about celebrities like Jean-Claude Van Damme putting their money
That's right.
into, you know, this sort of project, which is protecting endangered species. I think it's fantastic.
Can I
love
ruin
it.
Can I ruin
Can
it?
I
Yeah,
too?
you can.
You go first.
And I know you are.
You go first.
Okay, I've got a theory about celebrities and wildlife and environment-related things because I don't think that, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio is a good one. Who's the other guy? George Clooney.
Yeah.
You know,
Don't bag George
He's
Clooney.
helping the Syrians and
Don't-
the Sudanese.
just don't go there.
I know.
Don't go
He's
there.
doing. They do anything that won't attract any kind of attention to like their own personal wealth, you know, which is really them having all of this wealth, 5, 6 houses, you know, these great apartments. You know, they live in several different countries all at once. I don't think they're ever going to do anything that'll really raise social equality in their own countries. So instead, they focus on the environment to look like good people. And
At least they're doing something.
They're doing something,
They could just
yeah.
sit there on their cash, earn interest.
You
and
know what
say,
they do?
Up yours, the
You know
world.
what they do? They throw these lavish fundraisers that's like, you know, $40,000 a ticket to go to, and they just pump all this cash through it. And I'm not saying that's what Jean-Claude Van Damme's doing, but I don't know why he wants to start a wildlife park.
I'll
here.
tell you what.
It's
Can I shit on
very
this idea
weird.
too?
He doesn't even have a foundation.
That's true. Can I shit on this too? It's very elitist as well. He wants to build a billionaires club, so like little hotels on there as well, where they can go and live amongst the rhinoceros.
what?
And
You guys just want to poo on everything. You just want to poo on everything. Here is this great man who actually, what he says, look, what am I going to do? Am I going to make a second, third, you know, another movie? Imagine he said something like, I've got so much money, what am I going to do? Spend it on the casinos? He's like, no, I want to build a park so that when I die, I know that these endangered species will continue.
He's just representing a group of rich
I
people
support
doing
him.
that. You know?
I support him.
I support him
you
too.
know, I
right?
love it.
Okay?
I think we need more
his
philanthropy.
big legs and his
You
flexibility.
just like his movies, all right?
I do.
He doesn't even know where he wants to put this. He's like, yeah, maybe Broken Hill. He talked about the idea of doing it on the Gold Coast,
yeah.
right? In fact, I believe he went and met Tom Tate. Tom Tate, the mayor of the Gold Coast, on his first day, I believe, or very close to his first day, said, the days of protecting green frogs on the Gold Coast are over. It's like his opening gambit.
Maybe
but on the
Jean-Claude
other
didn't know
hand,
that, but
yeah,
anyway.
maybe he advocates for rhinoceros.
Yeah, it's all about the rhinos. So anyway, well, I welcome it. I think it's great. Thanks very much, Jean-Claude, for gracing us with your presence. It's been an absolute pleasure. I think that's a wrap for our little show tonight.
That's right.
Thanks very much for watching. If you've got any thoughts or comments or any ideas on stories you'd like us to have a chat about, you can leave them on our Facebook page, The Third Rail. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.